on now. You got come on.
Mr. Sanchez, good morning. Madam Interpreter.
Señora Sánchez, buenos días.
Come on.
Can you, Mr. Sanchez, can you hear the court?
Come on.
Señor Sánchez, ¿puede escuchar a la corte?
Hold on, Joyce.
Sí, ahora mismo sí.
He said, see something. Mr. Sanchez, good morning. Madam Interpreter.
Señor Sánchez, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Okay, he can hear. That's fine. So we'll go ahead and get started.
Muy bien, entonces vamos a comenzar.
Madam Interpreter, before we begin, do you swear to interpret from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English in accordance with your training and experience?
I do, ma'am.
Thank you. Everyone, please raise your right hand.
Y todos levanten, por favor, la mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm
juran o afirman
that the information given to this court
que la información que será dada a esta corte
will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
será la verdad completa y nada más que la verdad?
Do you also swear that the information given to the court
También juran que la información dada a la corte
in the documents regarding court-appointed attorneys
en el documento I'm so sorry, Your Honor, what is the name of the county?
it's called court-appointed attorneys.
Oh, thank you. Que el abogado designado por la corte
Is true and correct?
es correcta y segura.
If so, say I do, everyone.
¿No? Que falla todo el mundo.
So, okay.
I didn't hear Sanchez say I do. Ladies can put your... Mr. Sanchez, did you understand and swear? If so, say I do.
Yes, I do.
Sí, señora Sánchez, pueden bajar su mano. Si usted entiende, por favor diga I do.
I do.
All right. Everyone, please listen up. This is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Sí, por favor, todos escuchen. Esta es su primera aparición antes de ver a la corte de Clayton County.
We are streaming live on YouTube.
Estamos haciendo una transmisión en vivo en YouTube.
If your family members are watching and looking for male inmates, they will be coming up shortly.
Si sus familiares están viendo, estarán entrando en un momento.
This is not the day for you to try your case or for the court to take a plea.
Sí, esta no es la fecha para que usted haga el juicio de su caso, ni para que usted se declare, haga su declaración.
I am only here to tell you your charges and read you your rights.
Estoy aquí solamente para leerle sus cargos y sus derechos.
For some of you, I may set a bond, and for some of you, I may set your next court date.
Para algunos de ustedes voy a fijar una fianza y para otros de ustedes voy a fijar la siguiente fecha de corte.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Para este y todos los siguientes procedimientos tienen los siguientes derechos.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tienen el derecho a permanecer en silencio y no decir nada.
If you give up this right, anything you say could be used against you in this hearing or in any future hearings.
Si deciden hablar, todo lo que digan podrá ser usado en esta audiencia o en cualquier audiencia futura.
You have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
tienen el derecho a ser presumiblemente inocentes hasta que se pruebe que lo contrario, más allá de la duda razonable.
You have the right to indictment by accusation for grand jury. Excuse me. You have the right to indictment by the grand jury.
Sí, tienen derecho a una indicción a través del gran jurado.
Or by accusation for misdemeanor offenses.
O para una acusación de delitos menores, de ofensas por delitos menores.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Tienen derecho a un juicio público con un jurado.
You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses.
Tienen derecho a ver, escuchar y a examinar a testigos.
You have the right to call your own witnesses by use of subpoena.
Y tienen el derecho a pedir ver a sus propios testigos a través de una subpoena.
You have the right to testify on your own behalf, but you are not required to do so.
Tienen el derecho a testificar para su propio bien, pero no tienen que hacerlo necesariamente.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and I will appoint each of you an attorney.
Tienen derecho a que un abogado los represente y yo les voy a asignar un abogado a cada uno de ustedes.
If the court has given you a bond, you can post a bond using cash, a bonding company, or property.
Si se les ha asignado una fianza, pueden pagarla utilizando efectivo, una compañía de fianzas o con propiedades.
If you do a cash bond, you will bring the full amount in cash to the sheriff, who will hold it.
Si van a pagar en efectivo, deben traer la cantidad total al sheriff, quien la va a custodiar.
Once your case is resolved, that cash bond will be returned to the person who posted it.
Una vez que el caso haya sido resuelto, se le regresará el dinero a la persona que haya puesto ese dinero.
Once you do let's start that over. If you use a bonding company, they will take up to 15% of your bond as a fee for their service.
Si utilizan una compañía de fianzas, ellos pueden tomar hasta el 15% como tarifa por sus servicios.
That will not be returned.
Y no va a ser regresado.
If you use a property bond, your property must have equity 3 times the amount of your bond.
Si ustedes utilizan propiedad, el valor del patrimonio de su propiedad debe ser 3 veces lo que se fija de fianza.
Each of you will have special conditions on your bond. At minimum, you will not be permitted to commit any offenses while out on bond.
Sí, a cada uno de ustedes se le fijará una fianza diferente y diferentes condiciones, y no podrán cometer ninguna ofensa mientras estén bajo la fianza.
Some of you may have additional conditions which require you to stay away from certain people and certain places.
Algunos de ustedes tendrán condiciones especiales que le pedirán que estén lejos de ciertas personas y de ciertos lugares.
If any of these special conditions are violated, you will be rearrested and not entitled to a bond while awaiting your trial.
Si alguna de estas condiciones especiales se viola, ustedes podrán ser arrestados y no tendrán derecho a esa fianza.
New charges could be brought against you where you could face 10 years in jail or $20,000 in fines.
Sí, se le pueda dar una nueva penalidad de 10 años en la cárcel o, I'm so sorry, Your Honor, 10 years in jail or what else?
$20,000 a fine.
Thank you. pueden ser 10 años en la cárcel o $20,000 de multa.
If you have family members who are watching, they need to wait at least 3 hours from the conclusion of the court calendar to try to post your bond.
Si tienen familiares que los estén viendo, ellos deben esperar 3 horas después a que concluya esta audiencia para poder poner la fianza.
If your family member is the alleged victim, he or she will not be allowed to post your bond.
Si su miembro de la familia es su víctima, no podrán poner la fianza.
As we move forward, if you are facing misdemeanors only, you will have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing.
Mientras continuamos, si ustedes cometieron delitos menores, tienen permitido exonerarse de la audiencia.
Waiving your preliminary hearing will move your matter along quicker through the magistrate court.
Si ustedes se exoneran de la audiencia preliminar, el caso se va a mover más rápido hacia la corte mayor.
You only have the option to waive your preliminary hearing if you are only facing misdemeanor charges.
Solo tendrán permitido exonerarse de la audiencia preliminar si cometieron delitos menores.
Waiving this hearing does not waive any of your rights to a lawyer, a trial, or to post bond.
El exonerarse de esta audiencia preliminar no les exonera del derecho de tener un abogado o de tener el juicio o de poder poner su fianza.
If you post bond, you will automatically waive your preliminary hearing.
Si ponen una fianza, automáticamente se están exonerando de tener una audiencia preliminar.
As stated, we are streaming live on YouTube.
Como dijimos antes, estamos transmitiendo por YouTube.
As I call each of you up, I will give you the opportunity to waive the formal reading of your accusation, or I will read your warrant aloud, including all of the allegations surrounding your offense.
Según llame a cada uno de ustedes, se les da el derecho de exonerarse de que se les lean los cargos, o les voy a decir la razón del arresto.
We will start with Mr. Sanchez, and then we will take the female inmates in the order that I call them. So Mr. Sanchez, do you need a moment, Deputy Filbert, to get them back, or do you want me to go ahead and continue?
You can go ahead and continue, guys.
Okay. Mr. Sanchez,
Vamos. Sí, señora Sánchez.
you are charged with battery and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree.
Ma'am, Your Honor, battery and what else?
Cruelty to children in the 3rd degree.
Thank you. Si usted está acusada de lesiones y crueldad a los niños en 3er grado.
Do you understand and waive the formal reading, or do you wish for me to read your warrants aloud?
Señora, ¿usted entiende y quiere exonerarse de la lectura o quiere que le lea los cargos de nuevo?
Quiero que me lean los cargos.
Repeat that. I don't think she
I'm
heard you.
sorry, thank you. Repita, por favor.
Quiero que me lean los cargos. Quiero que me...
¿Quiere que le lea los cargos?
Por favor.
Can you read the charges?
It is alleged that, give me 1 second. That's not his paperwork.
Sí.
It is alleged
Deme un segundo, por favor.
that you battered Miss Gonzalez,
Your Honor, I'm so sorry. What is it that he did against Miss Vélez?
he battered her, allegedly,
Oh, thank you. All right. Sí, se alega presumiblemente que usted maltrató a la señora Vélez
by pulling her by her arm and causing her to hit her face.
al jalar su brazo y lastimarle la cara.
This was witnessed by her minor child, Ashley.
Y esto fue presenciado por su hija más pequeña, Ashley.
Your bond is $7,000.
Su fianza es $7,000.
You are to stay away from Ms. Gonzalez and her daughter.
Necesita mantenerse lejos de la señora González y de su hija.
You cannot return to 6112 Park Drive in Forest Park.
No puede regresar al 6112 de Parkway.
Since that's your residence,
Your Honor, so sorry, 6112 Parkway, what is the city?
Park Drive in Forest Park.
Thank you, and Park Drive and Forest Drive.
Since that is your residence, you can go back with a sheriff to retrieve your property.
Ya que esa es su residencia, usted puede regresar con un sheriff para recoger sus pertenencias.
You cannot go back to that property without a sheriff's escort.
Pero no puede ir a esa propiedad sin que lo acompañe un sheriff.
You shall not violate any laws while out on bond.
Y no debe violar ninguna ley mientras esté bajo fianza.
Are you able to make bond?
¿Puede usted pagar la fianza?
Sí.
Your next court date is October 27th at 8 a.m.
Su siguiente fecha de corte es el octubre 27 a las 8 de la mañana.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter. You have a great day, okay?
Thank you so much for using our services. Goodbye.
Bye. Before we continue, Deputy, can you hear me, Deputy Filbert?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a way for you to get to medical by the time we're finished with the female so I can do the speech for medical and the males at the same time so I don't do that again, or no?
Yeah,
Is that gonna be a stretch?
I can do it.
Okay, because I don't want to have to do it 3 times. I don't mind doing it twice, but 3 is just a little bit much. So just keep that in mind. We'll do the medical as well as the male inmates at the same time.
Hey, John.
Ma'am, are you Ms. Taylor?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me 1 moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are charged with improper lane change, no tag, DUI, a felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, as well as possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your warrant read out loud?
I understand. I understand.
Your bond is $18,000. You shall not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Kiana Curry's case will be reset until tomorrow. Are you Kiana Curry?
Yes, ma'am.
Your case will be reset until, not tomorrow, until Tuesday, Tuesday, October 13th is when your court date will be. Have a good day. Is your name Tiana Jackson?
Trina Jackson. Yes, ma'am.
Give me 1 moment. You are charged with theft by receiving stolen property and having an altering the identity of a vehicle. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I don't need to have it read.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I don't need to have it read. No, ma'am.
Your bond is $30,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I will, not today, but tomorrow. Yes. Yep, tomorrow.
Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, ma'am. Put your mask over your nose. It doesn't help you to have it under your nose. Have a good day. We will do Misty Jenkins later. So next should be Jacola Little. Are you Miss Little?
Yeah.
You are charged with stalking. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or would you wish to have your accusation read aloud?
I understand.
Can I hear you, ma'am?
I understand.
Stand by. I have an officer calling me. Stand by. We're back on the record. Miss Little, you did say you do not want to read aloud.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $10,000. You're to stay away from Corey Foss. You cannot return to 10789 Misty Meadows Way. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Ma'am, you understand this is a very serious charge. Although it's a misdemeanor, you have the opportunity to, if violated, be faces a very serious charge. So keep this in mind, okay, ma'am? Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
This is a misdemeanor, so you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day, ma'am. Next, we should have Lakeithia Odom. You are charged with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the first degree. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud? I can't hear you.
Read it to me, please.
You said read it to you?
No.
It is alleged that you did commit the offense of battery when you intentionally caused physical harm to Lakeithia Williams, who by striking her with your hands and fists several times. You committed this offense of cruelty to children when you cursed at the child and used your hands and fists to hit her multiple times with your sister, Lakeithia Odom, and your brother, Kendall Turner. Williams' brother, Kendall Turner. During the attack, the child received a large cut to her right inner hand, which required stitches. The court reviewed this, found there's probable cause for the warrant as requested. Your bond is $30,000. You should stay away from Lakeithia Williams. You cannot return to 6857 Power Street in Riverdale, Georgia. Do you live there?
Yes.
You cannot return there. Since that's your residence, I will allow you to go with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. Do not go back to that property without a sheriff's escort for any reason until that condition is modified by another judge or until this case is closed. Do you understand?
Yes.
You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Are you Lakeithia Odom? Can I hear you, ma'am?
Yes. Yes.
You are charged with battery and cruelty to children in the first degree. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Can you read it, please?
It is alleged that you committed the offense of battery when you intentionally caused physical harm to Lakeithia Williams by striking her with your hands and fists several times. You committed this offense of cruelty to children when you cursed at the child and used your hands and fists to hit her multiple times with your sister, Lakeithia Odom, and with her brother, Kendall Turner. During the attack, the child received a large cut to her right inner hand, which required stitches. The court reviewed this. Your bond is $30,000. You must stay away from Lakeithia Williams. You cannot return to 6857 Power Street in Riverdale, Georgia. Do you live there?
No.
You shall not return there for any reason. Do you understand, ma'am? You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond? Your next court date will be October 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Next will be Sylvia Okomo. Ma'am, you are charged with battery and cruelty to children in the third degree. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I wish to waive them.
Your bond is $7,000. You are to stay away from Martin Irobuchi, and you must stay away from Mr. Irobuchi. Do you reside there with him at that address?
Yes, ma'am, it's my husband.
You cannot return to 2173 Miranda Drive in Morrow, Georgia. Since that is your residence, you can return with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property, but you are not to go back to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved. Do you understand?
Yes.
Are you able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes.
Another condition of that bond is that you must not violate any laws out on bond. These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the rights and the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will be mailed to you. Have a good day. Asiana People should be next. You are charged with shoplifting. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or you wish to have it read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $2,000. You shall not return to Walmart on Amble Block Road, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
This is a misdemeanor. You have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Next should be Alexis Todd. You're charged with battery, family violence, and simple assault. Do you understand the nature of your charges, Ms. Todd? Do you waive the formal reading of your accusation? Your bond is $7,000. You are to stay away from DeMarte Harris. You cannot return to 3196 Mount Zion Road. It was indicated that that is your residence. You can return to the residence for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property as long as you return with a sheriff's escort. Do not return to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by another judge. Do you understand? I can't hear you.
Ma'am.
You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, ma'am?
I'm not sure. I haven't talked to anybody yet.
Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? These are misdemeanor offenses.
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day, ma'am. We should be ready for the male inmates. Do you need me to stand by?
Stand by, Judge.
Okay, and then try to get Deputy Filbert on the Zoom because I want to do him and the other lady at the same time. At least read her charges. Or read her, excuse me, the speech. Good afternoon, gentlemen and Miss Jenkins. Can you all hear me?
I'm sorry.
Okay. We are, I need you all to raise your right hands. Ms. Jenkins, please raise your right hand as well. Do you swear or affirm that the information given to this court, as well as the information provided in your application for court-appointed counsel, is true and correct, so help you? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you. Please listen up. It is not the court's preference to have to repeat myself, so I want to get this through this as quickly as possible for everybody involved. We are streaming live on YouTube. Keep that in mind as we go forward. We are streaming live on YouTube. This is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are not here to try your case or to take your plea. You are here for the court to inform you of the charges against you, to advise you of your rights, to set bail for those offenses which I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule hearings for some of you, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. During this and all other proceedings, you have the right to remain silent and say nothing. Should you give up the right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if the case goes to trial. You also have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The right to indictment by grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses who are called to testify against you. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses on your own behalf by subpoena. You have the right to testify if you choose to do so. However, should you choose not to do so, there can be no presumption of your guilt raised because of that. You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and it is the policy of this court to provide each of you all with an attorney. As always, though, you have the right to hire your own counsel or to represent yourself. Some of you will be allowed to post bonds pending the prosecution of your case. That bond may be cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash to the jail. At the conclusion of your case, that bond will be returned. For you who use a bonding company, they can take up to 15% of your total cash bond, excuse me, your total bond amount as a fee. That fee will not be returned. You could also use a commercial bonding company, a commercial property or a personal residential property and post a property bond. If you do that, your property must have equity at least 3 times the amount of your bond to qualify for a bond. So when I ask you, are you able to make bond? Do not ask the court how much it would be if you use the percentage. Can I use the property, whatever? Because I'm not going to be able to do that for each of you all. Just know that I'm asking, do you have somebody who will be able to make a commercial property bond using a bonding company, a cash bond, or if somebody has some property they're willing to put up for you? Everyone will have special conditions on their bond if given a bond. At minimum, you will be required not to violate any laws while out on bond. Some of you all will have additional conditions on your bond that prohibit you from going around certain people or certain places, and you will be required to acknowledge those conditions today. If you violate any of those special conditions, you could be arrested for new charges, brought back in, and you will not be entitled to a new trial or a new bond while awaiting trial. So keep in mind that those are very serious conditions that the court takes very seriously. As a matter of fact, you could be brought facing the charges that are brought against you could be facing 10 years in prison or up to $20,000 fine. So please, please, please understand these special conditions are not suggestions, they are requirements. If you have family members who are watching today, who are going to assist you with making your bond or posting your bond, please understand that they should wait about 3 hours from the conclusion of this calendar before attempting to post a bond. In the event that they are the alleged victim, your family members cannot be allowed, if they're the alleged victim, to post bond on your own behalf. Some of you have offenses that the court is not authorized to set a bond, and you will be made aware of that as well. If you are facing misdemeanors only, if you're facing felony offenses, the court will set a preliminary hearing, which the purpose is to see if there is probable cause to detain you on the charges for which you've been arrested. However, if you have misdemeanors only, you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. If you waive your preliminary hearing, you are not waiving any of your rights. You're not waiving your right to a trial, the right to an attorney, nor are you waiving your right to a all that does is move your case along a little bit quicker through the court's process. So when I ask you if you're facing misdemeanors, if you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, be prepared to say to the court, yes, I waive my preliminary hearing, go ahead and move me forward, or no, I don't waive it and we'll set you down. If you post a bond, you will be waiving your preliminary hearing anyway. So keep that in mind as we go forward. Mr. Jaquayon Gibson, your case has been dismissed. I found there is not probable cause for the charges that's brought against you. I've given the the officers ample time to adjust the charges. So, sir, you should be dismissed. I have dismissed all of your charges. He needs to be processed out as quickly as possible. That is for Jaquayon Gibson or Jaquayon Gibson. Do we want to do Miss Jenkins first since she's right there?
Yes, Judge. And then I'll go over there to assist them.
Thank you. Miss Jenkins, you are charged with DUI, less safe. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I understand my charges.
Your bond is $5,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes.
This is a misdemeanor offense, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Is she gonna be able to sign that waiver over there in quarantine or no?
No, Judge. Can she get, with your permission, could you sign it for her?
No. I will set her down for the court date, ma'am, just because of the health conditions. I am not permitted to sign on your behalf, neither are the officers. However, if you bond out, you'll be waiving it anyway, okay?
She said if you bond out, it'll be waived, okay? I'll talk to you about it. Okay, Judge.
Yes, if you bond out, as with anybody else, when you bond out, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived, okay? Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day. So I'm setting that down for October 27th. And if she bonds out, she won't have to worry about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We'll continue with the male inmate, starting with Marcus Asbury. Sir, you're Mr. Asbury. I think it's still muted at the jail. If you all would take the phone off or the computer off mute. Are you Mr. Asbury?
Yeah.
You are charged with simple battery and criminal damage to property. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Say that again, ma'am.
We are streaming live on YouTube. I read your charges, which are simple battery and criminal damage to property. If you want to know the details of it, I can read that to you. However, if you understand, you have the opportunity to waive the formal reading of the accusation. Do you wish to waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I waive it.
Okay, so your bond, what was that?
That's them talking about that.
Okay, thank you. Your bond is $7,000. You are to stay away from Brittany Ogletree. You cannot return at 1798 Broad River Road. It was indicated on the warrant that that is your residence. As such, I will allow you to return with, excuse me, I need to read this again. Katrina Knight.
Yeah.
You do not know who Brittany Ogletree is?
Yeah, I know who she is.
Okay, give me one moment. So you to stay away from Brittany Ogletree and Katrina Knight.
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to return to, so you have two different warrants. You have a warrant from 2018 with Miss Knight. You have a warrant from 2020 with Miss Ogletree.
Yes.
You stay away from both of them. You cannot return to 1798 Broad River Road. It was indicated that that is your residence. As such, you can go back with a sheriff's escort to retrieve your personal property, but you cannot go back to that property unescorted. You shall also stay away from 1296 Heather Circle in Riverdale, Georgia.
Stay there. That's my house.
Sir, I understand. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Based on my reading of the warrant, that's where the victim in the warrant, that was 2 years ago, I understand that. But based on the reading of the warrant, that's where the victim in the warrant resides. The court does not have the authority or the freedom to allow you to go back there. But I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Speak with your lawyer about getting that condition modified, okay? As I stated, these are misdemeanor offenses, and you said you are or are not able to make bond.
7,000, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm able.
These are misdemeanor offenses. You have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I waive it.
Please sign your waiver, and your next court date will come in the mail, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Joshua Bigham.
Yes, ma'am.
You were charged with simple battery, obstruction of an officer, and theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your charge and waive the reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
No, I waive the reading.
Okay. Your bond is $9,000. You were to stay away from Sean Gresham, and you cannot return to Walmart on Amber Block Road. You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
These are all misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? Please sign your waiver, and your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
I appreciate it.
Andreas Bivens.
Boom.
You are charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree, burglary, obstruction of an officer, and criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
Read it.
It is first alleged that on October 10th, the officers arrived and you took flight, refusing to comply to several lawful orders to stop. Upon investigation after capture, it was found that you had kicked and damaged both the front door and ring doorbell of your mother's home, Miss Latoya Allen. The damage to the door was $400 and the doorbell was $100, totaling $500. You were also accused of burglary on September 19th of this year, that you went to your mother's house and damaged the windows, blinds, door latch, and candle holder, estimated to be more than $500, and you entered the residence of the victim, one being your mother, Miss Allen, and the other being Derry Williams, who is your stepfather. It is further alleged that you did damage the double pane window valued at $600, the faux wood blinds valued at $200, the front door valued at $30, and the silver candle holder valued at $6. Once again, that was with your mother and your stepfather. You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of that bond will be to stay away from Miss Allen and Mr. Williams and to not return to 7390 or 7590 Battle Creek Lane in Jonesboro. As I stated, you do not have a bond based on the fact that you have allegations from September of this year and the nature of these charges. Your next court date will be September 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Remarcus Brown should be next. Are you Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
You were charged with driving on a suspended license, no insurance, 2 felony counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, possession of weapon during the commission of a crime, and drugs outside of their container. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
No, I'll wait.
Your bond is $23,500, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next should be Noah Burton. You Noah Burton?
Ma'am.
What was that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're charged with DUI, improper lane change, and improper passing. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
Waive.
Your bond is $6,000, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to have your preliminary hearing?
No waiver, please.
I can't hear you.
Waiver, please.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Please stand by. I had just received some paperwork for an inmate. We are back on the record. Next should be Lamario Bradford. You, Mr. Bradford,
Yes, ma'am.
you were charged with aggravated assault. Do you understand the nature of your charge and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Waive the reading, ma'am.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of that bond will be to stay away from Christopher Stahl. However, as stated, you do not have a bond at this time. The court is appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Next should be Reginald Curry.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with improper lane change, possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That's 2 counts of that, as well as felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. You are also charged with use or possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charge and waive the form of reading of your charges, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
I'll waive it, ma'am.
You said waive.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $11,000. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be October 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. You're welcome. Casey Day should be next. You are charged with battery family violence. How old are you?
19.
19.
Ma'am.
You are accused of battery family violence. Do you understand the nature of your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Read aloud, please.
It is accused that you shoved your 78-year-old grandfather, whom you live with, Thomas Plunkett. It is alleged you shoved him to the ground during a verbal altercation, resulting in him sustaining large bruises and abrasions on his left arm. This occurred in Clayton County, Georgia. Give me one moment. Your bond for this is going to be $10,000. You are to stay away from Thomas Plunkett. You shall not return to 7390 Ovis Lane in Riverdale, Georgia. It was indicated that that is your residence. As such, you can return with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved or until that case is that condition is modified by another judge. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor offense, although based on the age of the victim, it could have been charged as something more serious, but this is a misdemeanor offense. So you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Richard De La Rosa.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. You are charged with 6 counts of theft by receiving stolen property. Do you understand your charges and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have the warrant read aloud?
Wayne.
Your bond is $60,000, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
How you doing, man?
I'm fine. Are you Juan Fletcher, AKA Warren Fletcher?
No. No, that's me.
That's right. Fletcher, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me one moment.
If you don't wait your preliminary, you're gonna win the meeting.
Mr. Fletcher, you are charged with theft by taking. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I wish to have it read aloud.
It is accused that it stated that Officer Jenkins was flagged down by a CSM cleaning employee who stated that Mr. Warren Fletcher had just taken an employee's personal items from his cart. I was able to make contact with Mr. Fletcher and the victim, Mr. Killings, who stated he had his items in a blue trash bag and that he was notified by Dominic Jackson, an employee, texted him, stating that his bag was taken by a homeless male in a yellow shirt pushing a wheelchair. Mr. Fletcher said that his only ID was in his bag, but once it was open, Mr. Killing's bottles of Patron, which had been opened and water, were recovered. Mr. Fletcher would not state how these items got into his possession, but that they were his. Mr. Fletcher was then placed in custody and was transported to the main domestic precinct. Once there, he was placed into a holding cell and was charged with theft by taking. Mr. Fletcher was transported to Clayton County Jail without incident, nothing further. Your bond is $2,000, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I'm asking for a signature bond.
No, sir, not based on these charges. Are you able to make bond?
Nope.
This is a misdemeanor. You have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver, sir. If you do not bond out, they will bring you up on your arraignment date and take care of those charges at that time. If you do bond out, sir, they will mail your court date to you. Have a good day.
All right.
Next should be Kaheem Freeman.
How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Sir, you are charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, simple battery, and robbery. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
What's that in red?
Hear you. You want them read aloud?
Yes, ma'am.
It is accused that you made an assault upon Jashari Bush with a blue steel revolver, make unknown, when used offensively, is likely to result in violent injury. When you pulled a pistol from your right pants pocket and placed it to her stomach. It is also alleged that you took her keys and cell phone from her person while positioning your gun to her stomach. It is also alleged that you caused physical pain and harm by punching her in her face several times with a closed fist. You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, the condition of that bond will be to stay away from Bush. As stated, you do not have a bond. Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Ricardo Grogan, is he there?
Yes, ma'am, right here.
Hi. Remember we did your case yesterday and they couldn't find your paperwork? Well, they found it, but they didn't send it all over. So you've already been first appeared, but as a reminder, you do not have a bond. I read all those charges to you yesterday. I'm not going to reread them, but you do not have a bond at this time. Your charges are 4 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of possession of a weapon during a crime, as well as forgery. As a reminder, you're to stay away from Candiati Jones, Amari Newsom, Kaylee Jones, and Noah Davis, but you do not have a bond at this time. Yesterday, I set your court date from November 9th at 8 a.m. That is still your next court date. I have appointed attorney to represent you. Have a good day, sir.
You too, thank you.
Thank you. Next should be Robert Gibson.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're charged with driving on a suspended license, too fast for conditions, racing, improper lane change, reckless driving, and improper use of turn signal. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I wait.
Your bond is $6,000, and you are not to violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Can I get a signature tomorrow?
No. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. These are all misdemeanors. You have the option to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? That's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Next should be Nolan Green. So you're charged with 2 counts of simple battery and reckless conduct. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Waive.
Okay. Your bond is going to be $10,500. You're to stay away from Michelle Shannon, Jared Scale, Alfonso Little, and Bobby Mitchell. Do you live with any of these people, sir?
Yeah.
Where did you get the fire extinguisher from? Or no, don't answer that. You are to stay away from these individuals. Do you reside at 5390 Highway 85? Mr. Green, do you understand the court's question?
It's an apartment, 530.
Do you live there with those individuals? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Based on these allegations, the court cannot allow you to return to that address, sir. These are all the alleged victims, and it's the policy of this court not to allow the alleged accuser to go back to the property of the alleged incident with the alleged victims until another court can review it or so your lawyer can get that modified. So do not return to that property at 5390 Highway 85 until this is reviewed by another judge or until this matter is resolved. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah.
Since that is your personal residence, I will allow you to go with the sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted, okay?
Okay. I did not commit these batteries.
Sir,
Yeah.
what was that?
There's no batteries. I did not hit nobody.
I understand, and you have a lawyer that will assist you with defending that, okay, sir? Now, these are misdemeanor offenses, so you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
I'm going to go ahead and set you down. The court doesn't find that you're able to make a knowing waiver. Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. After speaking with your lawyer, if you all decide to waive it, we'll do so at this time, but the court is not confident that you are able to make a waiver at this time. Are you able to make bond, sir?
No.
Have a good day, sir. Next should be Deshaun Hudson. You were charged with terroristic threats and simple battery. Do you understand your charge and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Waive.
It said that you committed terroristic threats when the offender made threats by stating you would punch the victim, Kyle Carter, after being told to turn off a video the offender was not allowed to watch. You then pushed the victim, which was unwanted contact. The threat was heard by a witness. This all occurred in Clayton County.
Right.
The court found that there was probable cause for the one. What was that?
He said you waived the formal reading. You waived.
Oh, well, I didn't understand them, so it's too late. Your bond is $13,500. You're to stay away from Kyle Carter. And you must not return to 125 Highway 138 Southeast. Is that where you all, do you reside with Mr. Carter?
No, ma'am.
Was that his residence?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to return to 125 Highway 138 in Riverdale. You must also not violate any laws of out on bond. Do you understand those conditions, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
These, you were charged with terroristic threats as a felony. So your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
So,
Next should be Raquan Moses. Raquan Moses,
No.
you were charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Read out loud.
It is alleged that you intentionally damaged the living room wall after throwing a chair at the wall. You engaged in a verbal altercation with your mother, Miss Alicia Moses, and with her boyfriend, Frank Lewis. You then admitted on throwing the chair at the wall out of anger. You were then taken to the Clayton County Detention Center. The court reviewed that, found there was probable cause, Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Alicia Moses. You cannot return to 221 Breezewood Drive. It is indicated that that is your residence, so you can go back with the sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. You cannot go back to that property without an escort until this matter is resolved or that condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand those special conditions, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to make bond?
I'm gonna try.
This is a misdemeanor offense, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Well, that mean, I don't know what that means.
Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Lionel Pate should be next. Lionel Pate.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with 6 counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. You're charged with obstruction of an officer. You were charged with possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and 2 separate counts of use or possession of drug-related objects. I have dismissed your obstruction of an officer charge. Your other charges still stand. Do you understand the nature of your charges and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have your out?
Waive.
Your bond is $45,000, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Next should be John Powell Jr. Is he at OTB? Are you Mr. Bond, John Powell Jr.?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with driving on suspended registration, driving while license suspended, and expired tag. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I was trying to request a signature bond, but I did.
We haven't gotten there yet. I asked you, sir, do you understand your charges that you are facing, or do you wish to have me read your warrant aloud?
I understand the charges.
You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Based on these charges, the court will grant your request for a signature bond. As long as you come to court, everything will be fine. So you are going to receive a signature bond. Please sign your waiver and have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Ronnie Rayne should be next. Ronnie Rayne.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with battery and cruelty to children in 3rd degree. You understand the charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have the warrant read aloud?
I waive it.
Your bond is $7,000. You are to stay away from Quintorian McClendon and Daquan Carr. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you reside at 144 Lake Drive, or is that where they reside?
I don't even know who those people is.
Okay, so you're gonna stay away from them and you're not gonna violate any laws out on bond. And you said you are able to make bond, correct?
Ma'am.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Ma'am, because I'm gonna bond out.
Okay, thank you. Please sign your waiver and your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
Okay.
Melvin Thompson should be next. Are you Melvin Thompson?
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with simple battery. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Ma'am, I waive.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Sarita Smith, and you cannot return to 401 Cameron Landing. I know it was indicated that that's your residence, so you can go back with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by another judge. Do you understand?
Ma'am.
You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor, which means you can waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. You're welcome. Next should be Kendall Turner.
Oh, don't be lying. Judge, you have last?
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, he was over there in isolation too?
No, we have them, but,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I don't have to read it again. We'll get to him last. Thank you. What is your name, sir?
Jermaine Watley.
You are charged with cruelty to children in the 3rd degree and battery. Do you understand these charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Yes, ma'am. Waive it.
Your bond is $7,000. You're to stay away from Quintarian McClendon and DeQuan Carr. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
These are misdemeanors, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your next court that will come in the mail, please sign your waiver. Have a good day. Khalil Williams should be next. You are charged with speeding, reckless driving, and DUI. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
Do not read, please.
Your bond is $16,500, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am. I had a question.
Yes.
If I've been here for 4 days, are any of those bonds able to be reduced by the days I've been here?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions?
With the DUI, that wasn't true. Is that able to be dropped today?
don't talk about that.
No.
Oh.
You have an attorney you can share what's going on with your lawyer? I guess I should be more specific. Do you have any questions about the bond that I've put in place?
No, ma'am, you said 16,000?
16,500.
Okay.
All right, and you said you are able to make the bond. These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. The only person we should have left is Mr. Turner, correct?
We have Lawson, Mr. Lawson. over there.
Who?
Lawson Perez. Perez.
Perez Lawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand by that. Williams. Stand by that.
I do not see that paperwork. Give me one moment. Is your first name Lawson or last name Lawson?
Last name Lawson?
Terry, yes. It says it's a violation of probation.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold. They shouldn't have brought you over. That's something that's going to be handled with probation.
Okay. All right, Judge.
That's what the paperwork indicates, that that's a VOP, not not a first appearance charge.
Yes, ma'am.
Stand by for Mr. Turner.
Mr. Turner's up.
You, Mr. Turner?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're charged with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the first degree. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of the accusation, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I waive.
Your bond is $30,000. You're to stay away from Lenodia Williams. You are not to return to 6857 Power Street, Riverdale. That's your residence right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Since that is your residence, I will allow you to go with the sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. You cannot go back to that property without a sheriff's escort. Do you understand? You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. This is a felony offense, so you're not able to waive your preliminary hearing. Your next court date will be November 16th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. That should be it, correct, everybody?
That is it.
Thank you for your hard work. You all have a good day. I'll see y'all Tuesday.
All right,
All right,
Judge.
Judge.
Thank you.